Chris, and today is episode number 1 of the hair Q&A series. Alright, first I want to thank everybody who asked questions in the Got Questions Ask Away video that I posted not long ago. All the questions were fantastic and I'm really looking forward to answering them. So in case I come across a question that I've already answered previously or a topic that I've already covered in a previous video, what I'm going to do in those cases is to let you know what videos to check out to get those answers. And if I come across questions that I've never addressed before or topics that I haven't covered before previously, I'm going to do so in this series. So if your question doesn't get answered this time around, stay tuned for future videos because once again there are going to be multiple videos answering everybody's questions. Alright, so let's go. So one question that I've received across the board was, have I ever heard of the maximum hydration method? Have I ever tried it out before, and will I ever try it out? And my answer is yes, I've heard of the maximum hydration method. I have checked it out online and I took a look at the regimen and everything like that. However, at this point in my journey, I don't have any plans on trying out the method. It does look like it's a great way to get moisture in your hair and maximum moisture in your hair, especially if you are having dry hair. But as you may know, for the past 2 years I've been doing a modified version of the curly girl method, and honestly that regimen has definitely helped my hair for the better. In the beginning, when I first big chopped, my hair was ridiculously dry. Like, I could not hold on to moisture at all. So doing things like co-washing only and watching my ingredients and my products has really helped my hair out. So by me constantly feeding it moisture like all the time, it definitely has had a major impact on the way my hair looks, both wet and dry. As I've stuck with that regimen, it really has allowed me to have the freedom to pretty much wear my hair in whatever style that I'm trying to go for. So as you see in many videos, I go from like super tight hair one day where it's really coily, and then I could also go to like a super stretch style, and there's really not that much effort that goes into me kind of changing up my hairstyle. So I definitely chalk that up to the regimen that I'm doing currently, and I really don't have any plans on changing it up just yet. The thing that I want to mention about what I noticed with the maximum hydration method is the fact that it seems like it's kind of like a lengthy process, and for me personally, I really like to keep my regimen simple. I like to keep my hair care simple. I'm very simple with the styles that I do. My hair does tend to look different every day, but that's kind of her doing her thing on her own because a lot of times I do the same exact steps every time and it just comes out differently every single time. Again, I like to keep my regimen very simple, and my hairstyle is very simple. So the maximum hydration method seems like it's just going to be a little bit too much work for me right now. Right, so another popular question that I received a lot in that video, as well as across the board, the channel and emails and things like that, is whether or not I'm going to flat iron my hair anytime soon. My answer to that is I have no plans on flat ironing my hair anytime soon. Honestly, I don't miss my hair being straight at all. I really like the freedom and the versatility that I have when I'm rocking my hair curly or coily. Since I've gone natural and have been rocking my hair kind of in its natural state, I have really had the easiest time styling my hair ever. When I used to wear my hair straight, my hair would rebel quite a bit. So, from me getting relaxers, my hair would rebel and not necessarily process all the way. And when I would just try to wear it straight when I was younger, it would revert like crazy. Me and my mom would be going crazy trying to get my bangs straight and everything. It would just puff back up. So I already know from experience that my hair absolutely prefers being curly and coily, and it definitely thrives better that way. However, if you're interested in seeing what my hair kind of would look like straight, I do have a hair journey video that I posted forever ago. It's called like Hair Journey So Far, and I definitely show pictures of what my hair looked like straight, and you can see it grew out pretty long, but I had a whole setback and everything. Y'all, it was just a mess, okay? The back of my hair, like back here in my nape area, kind of started thinning out and breaking off, and I had like this huge gap in the back of my head. So the back of my hair is actually still really fine, and when I'm doing stretch hairstyles, I can still tell that it's a lot thinner and a lot finer than the rest of my head. So I think that if I ever flat iron it out bone straight, I'm probably going to have some sort of gap back there still. Another reason why I don't plan on flat ironing my hair anytime soon is the fact that my hair is actually very fine, and I know a lot of you think that my hair is thick, but it is not thick at all, and shrinkage really helps me out, which is one reason why I really enjoy rocking my shrinkage. It makes it look like I have much thicker hair than I actually do. But whenever I really stretch my hair out, or if I do a really tightly defined hairstyle, my hair does not look thick at all. You can see even when I'm doing twist outs in my videos, my twists are super skinny. Like, I do not have thick hair at all, so me wearing my hair bone straight is definitely not going to help me out with the volume, okay? Last, I want to mention that my hair is definitely prone to heat damage. I was heat damaged like the entire time I was relaxed. I really don't want to go back down that road, and I would be devastated if I did something to, ruin my coils and where I couldn't rock them how I normally rock them. I would just start all over y'all for real. I'll probably big chop again and just start over. So another question that's really been popular is, do I have any plans for, you know, my fall winter regimen? Last year I posted a video called Winter Tips and Chat where I discussed, you know, what my plans were for the winter time and the cold weather and things like that. In that video I'll cover things from, you know, moisturizing your hair during the winter time, along with, you know, the topic of protective styling and things like that. Also talked about some of the moisturizing methods out there, you know, the LOC method, the LCO method, the LOCS method, and so on. There's quite a bit of information in that video, and I encourage you to check it out if you're interested. This year I'm entering the cold seasons with my hair the same way that I did last year. I'm just going to pay attention to what my hair needs. What I do tend to get around the fall and winter time every single year is a dry scalp. So what I like to do in those cases is, you know, step up my deep conditioning. I also like to use things like apple cider vinegar on my scalp. I do a 2-to-1 ratio in like a spray bottle like this. Just treat my scalp, you know, and let it sit for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes and then, you know, proceed with my co-washing routine. I mentioned before that I don't really use oils on my scalp unless I'm deep conditioning my hair. Every time I seem to put, you know, any oil, whether it's Jamaican black castor oil or, you know, essential oils, things like that, with carrier oils, my scalp really kind of just doesn't like it. So I did kind of find a way to get around that at times. Again, I don't do this all the time, but I like to mix in another spray bottle like this my essential oils with like water and maybe a little bit of Jamaican black castor oil. I find that mixing my essential oils with water like this way, it kind of doesn't sit as heavily on my scalp. I can still feel the sensation from, you know, whatever oil I'm using, which is usually peppermint oil, tea tree oil, rosemary oil, stuff like that. So I can feel the tingle still, so the oil is still being, you know, applied to my scalp. But I also received a few questions on trimming. Somebody wanted to know exactly how I felt about trimming my hair on my own and how often I did trim my hair. So for me, I have multiple trim videos on the channel. I will link some in the description box, but I actually like to trim my hair every 2 to 4 months, and 4 months is like the max for me, and that's actually too long for me, especially since I wear my hair out all the time. A lot of times I can tell if my hair is in need for a trim by the amount of knots and tangles that I come across during my detangling process, as well as if the ends of my twist are looking kind of jacked up, it's time for me to trim my hair. So if you check out the trimming videos on the channel, you notice that I will use really small twists in my hair, and then, you know, I tend to use some sort of gel. There have been times when I haven't used gel to trim my hair, but gel really does make the process a lot faster for me, and it makes me be able to see exactly where I need to cut easier. So the way I currently trim my hair is really simple. It's not necessarily like a perfect way to trim your hair. You're not going to get like a perfectly even haircut or anything like that, but it definitely hasn't messed with the way my hairstyles turn out and things like that. So my hair doesn't seem like too choppy or anything like that. I also received quite a few questions on single strand knots. So this kind of goes along with trimming. Single strand knots are just something that I have come to expect and accept in my hair journey. Honestly, I do not like single strand knots, but I have a whole lot of single strand knots. My hair in particular being so coily, it knots onto itself all the time. So even when I do stretched hairstyles, you know, the fake blowouts or twist outs, braid outs, I still get them. If I go for a super shrunken wash and go, I get them. If I stretch my fro out in a wash and go, I get them. They are just there, y'all. So I honestly have not been able to prevent them 100%, and I really don't worry about them too much. The only time they actually start getting in the way is when, you know, it's almost time for me to trim and clean up my ends. So although I'm unable to prevent them 100%, once again, they're just going to be there no matter what in some sort of way. There are ways that I like to minimize them. I do have an older video on the channel dedicated to the single strand knots, so if you're interested in checking that video out, it has a ton of tips that I like to use on my hair and that I used back then when my hair was shorter. In addition to the light trims that I do every 2 to 4 months, I do like to get in there every now and then and do search and destroy missions where I would sit in front of a light source, you know, a lamp or my computer screen, and take a look at the strands of my hair and kind of snip away any single strand knots that I think are going to start causing problems, or any split ends and things like that. Someone asked if I would show 4C hair wet or dry like in a video, and I do have a video on my channel showing, you know, what my hair looks like both wet and dry without products at all. And also you can see in the tutorials, the hairstyle tutorials that I post here on the channel, a lot of times I'm starting out with, you know, freshly washed hair or something like that. So there you can also see exactly what my hair looks like up close. I will say that even if you have a similar hair type to mine, there's really no standard as to what your hair should or should not look like. A lot of times our hair can look very similar, but it may behave differently depending on the regimen and the products and things like that. Just remember that everybody's hair is different, even though it may appear to be the same. I received a question asking if I've tried the Entwine Couture line yet, and I have not tried that line out. I also received the question asking if I've tried the Organic Root Stimulator line yet, and I haven't tried that line out either. So continuing the topic of hair products, I received a lot of questions asking what my favorite hair product is. And honestly guys, I do not have like a specific one favorite product, because pretty much everything that you see behind me over there work really well for my hair. There are a couple things over there that does not work as great as they either did before. What I like to do when I'm trying to decide on what product line to try next is I definitely do my research, whether it's reading reviews, looking at the ingredients, researching ingredients that I'm unaware of. So I'm almost finished for today, but I definitely want to cover a couple more questions. And remember, there's going to be multiple videos in the series, so if your question doesn't get answered today, stay tuned for more. Another question that was very popular was moisturizing the hair and what's right and what's wrong and what you should and should not do when it comes to moisturizing your hair. So on my channel, I do have a video dedicated to moisturizing your hair and starting a moisturizing regimen, which is very important for someone who just big chopped. I definitely understand that starting a moisturizing regimen early is like probably the most important thing that you can do for your hair. Once again, the video that's dedicated to talking about moisture is called Talking About Moisture, and I will link it in the description box below. Another question that I received is how often to wash your hair or co-wash your hair. Now in my case, I actually wash my hair pretty often. I wash it 2 to 3 times a week, and I've done that since before I big chopped. Actually, I used to, even when I was relaxed, I would wash my hair at least twice a week. I have a very sensitive scalp, so it has to be clean, or it is on fire, it gets really irritated, it breaks out the whole nine. So that hasn't changed now that I'm natural. Although that works for me in my hair journey with my scalp and things like that, that definitely doesn't mean that you have to wash your hair that often, especially if it doesn't need to be washed. I would say that it's pretty much up to you how often you wash your hair. Only you can figure out exactly what your scalp needs, if it's getting dry or if it's sweaty or smelly, things like that, if your hair's kind of weighed down, if your hair feels dry. A lot of times it's beneficial to just go ahead and co-wash it or wash it with whatever shampoo and conditioner you like to use. If you are one who uses shampoo and you have to wash your hair frequently, I would recommend trying to not use shampoo every single time. Like if you have to wash your hair 2 to 3 times a week, I would recommend not shampooing 2 to 3 times a week. So if you can, try to just kind of rinse your hair out or co-wash it with a conditioner in between your shampoo. That way your hair won't dry out. Okay, so the last 2 questions for today are, do I plan on dyeing my hair anytime soon? And have I ever thought about doing locks or something like that for my hair? So I have not colored my hair since being natural. When I was relaxed, I definitely started to play around with permanent color and semi-permanent color toward the end of my relaxed hair journey, and it kind of jacked me up. Big surprise there. It really jacked me up. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was doing it way too often and my hair was jacked up. I do have gray strands throughout my hair, so I know that there will come a time where I'm probably going to do some sort of dyeing process. I'm not sure if I'm going to do semi-permanent hair color, permanent hair color, or henna. I haven't really thought about it too much, but there will come a time where I definitely dye my hair. As far as will I ever lock my hair up, I definitely have thought about doing something like that later on. I absolutely love the way locks look. I think that they look absolutely beautiful. My hair type likes to lock onto itself already anyway, so it wouldn't even be like that difficult to do it. But I have definitely thought about locking my hair, and if I ever do so, it's probably going to be a little bit later on. Alright, so this wraps up the first episode of the hair Q&A series. I hope it was helpful in some way. Don't forget to stay tuned for more videos like these. I have a lot of questions to cover, and I'm super excited to help out in any way that I can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you very soon in another one. Take care. Be sure to check out my channel homepage for lots more to watch. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Have a great day.